Microtransactions, microtransactions, everyone's favourite pastime. Oh, I know there's no better feeling than getting home from a long day at work and spinning that wheel. No, not that wheel. That other wheel. What am I gonna get? What am I gonna get? Oh, well, that doesn't matter. I can always just buy another one. Oh no. So, microtransactions. Where did it all start? Well, I think most people think it started with that horse armour. But I mean, if you look back, you can see that wasn't really the start of it, just the final little push. So if we go back long before I was born, there was no consoles anywhere, just arcade machines. And you might think that's not a microtransaction, and you'd be right, but some arcades still had them. As if you go back to 1982 with the Lost Tomb, you could buy ammo in a game. Now this was pretty unusual for its time, as many arcades kind of let you top up health, but this was the first one to actually let you buy items in a game. But not the last. You go 8 years later, 1990, Double Dragon 3. Well, this game had the first in-game shop where you could actually buy items with real money. You just insert another token and pick what you want. But this is hardly the microtransactions we know today, as, well, before I talk about them, I want to say the difference between that and an expansion. Because, well, expansions have been around for pretty much before modern microtransactions. You know, they're your classic DLC, another few hours of gameplay, sometimes downloadable online, like with Morrowind Tribunal, or as like a anniversary edition in a new release of the game, like GTA London was for GTA 1. But a new type of DLC was entering the game, as you look at 1997 with Total Annihilation, one of those nice old little simulator games, but this game tested out giving smaller content on a monthly basis being downloaded online. And while this game's content was free, it was just a passion project by the developers, I assume, it did lay out the groundwork for what was to come. Now if we jump to 2004 quickly, where a popular MMO game, MapleStory, has just released a nifty new mechanic where you can pay £1 in today's money to open a mystery box, which includes just a random piece of in-game item. But I mean, that doesn't matter, it's not like a AAA studio would do something like that now, would it? Well, that was tested in 2006, as we get what I'd call a catalyst, with Bethesda being the first big AAA studio to release the paid DLC for something that looks like it took 5 minutes in Paint to make. Now this is of course the classic Oblivion horse armour, which costs £2.50, which it might seem small, but compared to the game's DLCs, £5 and £10, those DLCs brought several hours of gameplay, so you can see why a £2.50 piece of armour caused some backlash. But it didn't really matter, cat was out of the bag, and as it seemed to outsell both Oblivion DLCs on the Xbox marketplace, you can see why the studios saw a future in this tactic. I mean, like, why write, model and voice several hours of gameplay when, you know, you can just get an intern to make some mesh and texture over the weekend and get, you know, just as many sales if not more. But this form of microtransaction isn't so bad in itself. Yeah, I mean, it is scummy by the company, don't get me wrong, but at least the consumers know what they're actually buying. Because, I mean, if you want to spend some of your money on a shitty little in-game skin, go for it. But if you could remove the certainty of what you're buying, well, that would be pretty sweet for the companies. And, well, that would come about sooner than later. And I was talking about earlier about MapleStory introducing the first loot box. but it wasn't really mainstream yet, as no one had proven the amount of fucking money you could make off them. But that would be until the Chinese MMO ZT Online reported that in 2007 they made $15 million in profit in just 1 month. That's 26 million in today's money. Now, it seems some little corporate shit over at EA took notice of this, as 2 years later they released Ultimate Team in FIFA, and more importantly, foot packs. Now, the ability to turn your game into a fucking casino is a big win for investors, because, with the help of some psychologists putting in lots of dopamine, you can quickly make addicts out of your audience. So, yeah, it fucking worked, as shown by just the amount of AAA games which followed with loot boxes. Just to name a few, in the next few years, you got Mass Effect 3, the final game in a trilogy of single-player games, which for some reason had loot boxes. Sure, CSGO releasing its crate system, still massively popular to this day. Overwatch, not so popular to this day, but and the straw that broke the camel's back of this whole system, Battlefront 2. So, for those of you who don't know what happened with Battlefront 2, it probably deserves its own little bit, as well. It's the sequel to the moderately successful Battlefront 2015, which was shipped with a full-baked cunt system. As well, many of the game's actual items were locked behind several hours of pay time, or you could pay for loot boxes. So, yeah, the game was a grind fest. You either had to spend hours and hours to unlock an in-game currency, to then unlock the characters that you wanted or the abilities that you wanted, or spin the wheel. But what's more annoying is the fact that what was behind these locked boxes, as not only were there weapon upgrades, the actual fucking playable characters were locked behind these walls. So in, a shooter Star Wars game, you couldn't actually play as any known characters unless you got very lucky or spent a shit ton of money or time. As this article here shows that you could either spend $2,000 or 4,500 hours to unlock every bit in the game. And that's less than 50 cents a fucking hour you're working for. But fortunately, as this amount of microtransactions, and yeah, this was aimed at fucking kids and teenagers, it was caught by some governments who saw this as the, gambling shit it was. And in doubling down, EA gave us not only the most downvoted Reddit post of all time, but a pretty nice excuse, as to why it's not gambling. Sums it up pretty well.
Do you consider them ethical?
So what we look at as surprise mechanics.
And this seemed to scare most companies from making loot boxes, as well, when governments knock on your door, you stop what you're fucking doing or face the sanctions. And although some companies like Japan, Belgium, China have actually gone through with it and either banned or restricted loot boxes, neither UK or USA have done anything about it. So, EA's just gone right back to adding loot boxes. The latest FIFA 23, that's got loot boxes in it, because fuck it, I guess. But still, most companies were put off loot boxes. But that didn't really matter, as only 1 year after Battlefront 2's release, you had, the battle passes, and this would come in the form of, the one and only Fortnite, as Fortnite brought in an absolute shitload of money in its first battle pass, which, when it launched its first battle pass, Fortnite had around 78 million users, which fucking hell that is. And these are active users, not just accounts. And it was reported that around 1 in 3 American users bought the battle pass. So if you say that's pretty standard overall, you get around $260 million in the first battle pass. And I mean, these battle passes only run for like 10 to 12 weeks, so you're looking at, if that's consistent, you're looking at over £1 billion or dollars in profit every year. So yeah, like loot boxes before it, all the companies went running to the money. And I mean, I'm not going to bother telling you about the games. I'll just, here's a picture. This just shows you the amount of goddamn games nowadays which have battle passes. So yeah, you get the point. A new form of microtransaction came in, was showed to be effective. Companies went for it. And well, the final point here is, why have lots of games now become free to play? As just, an absolute shitload of games have become free to play near the end of the loot boxes and start of battle passes. And why would that be? Because surely if you make the game free, it's better for the consumer. They don't have to pay for the game and they can still play it. Well, unfortunately not. As well, it's pretty simple. People are just more likely to give the company money, interact with these microtransactions, if it's a free-to-play game. I mean, here's a study by Concordia University showing that around 26% of players playing free-to-play games spend money on it, with the majority doing this as a habit, paying around $10 to $20 a month, which it adds up. You only play the game for a few months, you've paid more than you would for a full AAA game. And well, while I haven't really been able to see how this compares with the amount spent on a non-free-to-play game, you can easily see that it's a lot higher, because no big studios going to make a game free-to-play out of the kindness of their hearts. They're just gotta follow the money. So yeah, why are games free-to-play? Because consumers spend more, the companies make more, and that's really it. So yeah, that's about all I've got. That was that video over. Just want to say a bit of thanks for the support the last video got. I mean, I was hoping to get like 10 subscribers, 15, and I'm already at over 30. So yeah, thanks for that. If you like this, consider subscribing as well. Maybe I can get to, I don't know, like 40 or 50 by the end of this one. That'd be nice, I guess. Woo! Yay! Hurrah! Hurrah! Fucking hell.